mentored this young man, Jaquan. I had lunch with Jaquan yesterday. He's 3 years old. Wow. But we're going to help Jaquan. That's cool. I think Jaquan's going to be a post job. And he's a good kid. He really got a good hit, but he hasn't graduated high school yet. Got to get his GED.
Hey, you, wake up. It's Saturday morning and it's time to jump on that to-do list. But that home improvement project doesn't have to be a chore. Before you jump in, tune in here to About Your House to listen and learn from the most experienced and reputable contractors and service providers in the industry. On today's show, we have Paul Kowalski of Paul Kowalski Builders. About Your House is brought to you in part by PutToolsInSchools.org, connecting students to tools of the trades and raising awareness of the many career pathways. Also brought to you in part by Carolina Foundation Solutions, a licensed general contractor in North and South Carolina. From the hills to the coast, if you have a problem, they have a solution. So sit back, relax, and enjoy some time with us as we spread a little love. And now, here's your host, Ray Terry.
I won't back down. No, I won't back down. You can stand me up at the gates of hell, but I won't back down. No, I stand my ground. Won't be turned around. And I'll keep this world from dragging me down. Gonna stand my ground. And I won't back down. Hey, baby, there ain't no easy way out. Hey, I stand my ground. And I won't back down. Know what's right. I got just one life. All righty. Good morning. Welcome. Did you get wet this week? Lord have mercy, it rained. We talk a lot about water on this show and the devastating effects it can bring. It brought the fury this week, no question about it. My warehouse was flooded. Not flooded like deep, deep flooded. I had to walk around with boots on, but it was flooded. Got real wet. And I know a lot of you folks out there had water issues. I know there was flooding. I know, and I will share stories if you want to. And if you want to call and share one, love to hear it. 704-227-8986. That's our phone number. We got a lot to talk about today. Every Saturday we got a lot to talk about. Man, you can just talk. But as far as the weather goes, that's out of here. Looking ahead next week, Lord of mercy, not going to get out of the 80s. Hallelujah. Going to have a little cold break here. A few showers around next week, but mostly throughout the 80s, from lower 80s all the way up to 89. But 88. No 90-degree temps in the forecast next week. Yeah, love it. Hope everybody had a great week. I got my guest today, Paul Kowalski Builders. Paul's in the house, not the builders.
Not all of us. No.
Although he's a builder, but he's a licensed North and South Carolina.
That is correct.
General contractor.
Yes, sir.
And he's a contractor. He is about as close to a general contractor overall as I've met lately. He does not only, you'll build a house, won't you?
Yeah, we'll build a house. Our primary function, what we do for our clients, is residential remodel. So we're taking an existing home,
right,
and creating it for a new space for them.
Turning dreams into realities.
That's right. Building dreams and fixing nightmares, Ray. That's what we do.
There you go. Problem solvers. Remodeling. I'm a remodeler at heart, in spirit and soul. I'm a remodeler to the core. I believe in fixing things, repairing things. And when you're a remodeler, that's what you do, but you're doing it to houses and dwellings for people. And what's fun about, I had to give a talk one time to a bunch of teachers, educators, at a conference in Greensboro. And my topic was, what's the difference between remodeling and new construction? And, and when I told the guy what my topic, because he said, what are you going to talk about? I said, what do you want me to talk about? He said, I don't know. He said, something to do with what you do. I said, okay. And being a remodeler and having worked in my roots, new construction, there's a tremendous difference in remodeling and new construction. Tremendous. And it's more on the artistic side. It's more on the personality side because you've got to develop relationships with homeowners. So really the bottom line is, what's the largest difference? Ain't nobody living in a new construction house.
Not in Charlotte, it seems, right?
No, but typically in remodeling, 90% of the time, and you can help me here,
yeah,
they're going to live in that house.
That's correct. And for some of our remodels, they're a little bit bigger. They're going to move out. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But
here in Charlotte lately, a lot of that's going on.
Ray, I got to say, thinking about that, planning is a big piece.
We talk about that a lot.
Yeah, in remodeling, if you don't have a good plan, you're setting yourself up for failure.
Well, that's construction in general, isn't it?
Yeah, true.
If you don't have a good plan, you hit the nail on the head.
I'll say this in remodeling though, I think the stakes they're higher, right? The emotions are higher. You have the gift of being in somebody's home, and working for them, and it's very personal, right? In the new construction, they're not in there yet. They don't have those emotional attachments. That's not where they lay their head or where they cook.
They don't leave in the morning to go to work from there. Their life is around that home. They come home at 5 o'clock. You're remodeling in it all day, working on it all day. They come home. What my policy, was we're out of there at 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
We're swept, cleaned up, neat looking, cordoned it off. Everything's done, and we're out. Because when they come home, I wanted them to have I wanted to have it as nice as they could, because we've done messed up everything in the house.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah, no, it's true. If you can be, if they give you permission to do otherwise, you can do that if you're trying to get ahead a couple days or so. And some homeowners are fine with that.
Or weekend work.
Yeah.
But see, I didn't want my guys to work weekends.
It's
go home, be with your family.
It's scary for me. You're on call when you're working on the weekends, and that's what I tell my field supervisors.
I got a quick story about that. This is a great example. So when Paul or any professional says no weekend work in this house, I told a tile guy one time. He was scheduled for Wednesday. Wednesday comes, Wednesday goes. No tile guy. Called him up. Man, I'm sorry I got behind. I says, no, you're telling me what you think I want to hear. When can you do my shower? Now look, I don't want you in that house after hours on weekends. Well, Ray, the only time I can do it is Saturday. I can't get in there until Saturday. I said, when you're in that house, I'm on call. I'm working. And I'm telling you, you're going to have issues if you're working in that house on Saturday. Oh man, it's the only thing I can do. So I called the homeowner, told him and everything. Sure enough, he's a drinker. And he got to drinking. And the tile guy calls me and tells me there's issues. I said, yeah, there's issues. It started Wednesday when you didn't show up.
Yeah, there you go.
You're the issue here. He lives in that house. You're just visiting. And you weren't supposed to be there today. The moral to the story is, get your crap together, boy, on your schedules.
It's true. It's true.
Because those homeowners, that's their house. You should not be there. And as I share this, I share it to you for a reason, because hopefully we can teach you something on this radio show. Because when it comes to mistakes, I think I've made them all.
Yeah.
And I'll continue to make a few, because you know what you do when you make a mistake? Hopefully you learn. And if you don't learn, you're really a stupid person. Where are you from?
So I'm originally from New Jersey, and then came to the Carolinas, went to the University of South Carolina originally. And then
so that's when you tippy-toe down south.
That's exactly right. I followed my sister. She was the trailblazer of the family.
How old are you?
So I am 49 years old.
Got you pushing the big 50.
Oh yeah, we're knocking on the door, waiting for November.
Cool.
Should be a good
Actually,
party.
you're in your 50th year.
Truly, yes, right.
You're working on clicking them days off.
That's right. It feels like it.
Yeah. 50 is a great year.
Yeah. No.
Well, good. All right. So you came down south to go to college
To go to college. That's right.
at the young age of what?
I went to a community college in New Jersey,
Okay.
and so I was, what was that, 19 years old,
Okay.
and then finished up my schooling at the University of South Carolina. Go
In-
Gamecocks.
In what?
Marketing and management.
Okay.
Believe it or
That's not bad. Not
Yeah.
bad. If you got to go to college, that's pretty good, generic way to go. Because
Right.
give you a little background in business.
Business school. Yeah.
Yeah, business.
Yeah.
The one weakness that a lot of us share in the construction industry is the business side of it. So that was good for you.
Yeah. No, it really was. It really was.
Where'd you get into construction?
That's a great question. So I'll just say this: I've always been mechanically inclined, right? And I listen to this program, and I hear you talk about tools in schools and kids working with their hands and being busy. I was not a model student in high school. I'll share that with you. Yeah.
What the heck is a model student? You don't have to answer that. I think we all know what the answer
Yeah.
is. Yeah. Unfortunately, there's model students according to the broken educational system, I might add. And I might get a little ramped up on that because I tended to this week. So go ahead.
Yeah, no. So I've always been mechanically inclined, but I felt like
Headphones
what
here.
I had to
Trust
do
me, I
was
figured
go to
that out
college.
way later.
And I'll tell you what, I wouldn't take any of that back. I learned a lot. I had great relationships.
Oh,
and
it's
created.
beneficial in so
go to
many
Adobe
life
one day,
ways.
Jim.
Yes,
Can be.
yes, and it was for me. And
Good.
it really was for me. So, but I always
I'm
had
gonna
an
try
knack
in there though
you know,
first. I wanna see.
when I was young, I was into my father's. I hear tools from schools. I had tools at home,
Sure.
and
Hold
I
up
break
on
stuff,
EC2.
sometimes fix stuff.
What's the last song?
But that was.
How
I
many?
need to know
you
what
got
the code
siblings?
is.
I have an older sister. Yeah,
Okay,
she's 6
cool.
years older.
All right. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, you're fine. You're fine. Her stuff was some of the stuff I was breaking and trying to fix. But anyway,
What is it?
yeah. So
3,
no,
3,
I've
4, 2?
always been
6, 3,
mechanically
3, 4, 2.
inclined, and once I left school, I worked for Sherwin-Williams paint store.
Cool.
Yeah, and I was
The biggest on the planet.
That's right. They're painting the
Nowadays.
earth. Yeah,
Nowadays, it's the largest conglomerate company in the painting, sundries, and industry there is.
wow.
Just like Stanley Black and Decker in the tool sector.
How about that?
Well,
Well,
I mean, these companies just gobble up like Minwax. They own it.
that's right. That's
Purdy,
right.
Purdy brushes.
Yeah.
They own it. So on and on and on. But carry on. You worked at
Yes.
Sherwin-Williams.
So yeah, I worked there for 5 years. I was in the paint industry. I managed stores.
Oh, cool.
Learned a lot about customer service there.
Yes,
a lot about
sir. I
business.
bet you did, because in paint, it's all about customer service.
That's right.
There's paint and there's customer service.
Yes.
And that's pretty much it.
Yep. You got it right. You
Yeah.
got it right.
Oh, I've spent many hours in paint store in my life. And that's something in remodeling that you do.
Yeah. So I went from Sherwin-Williams. While I was there, I
What are you
met
trying to do?
different home builders at the time.
Oh.
Gosh,
So go
late
to-
90s,
Go there.
early 2000s.
Search
At that point,
Adobe.
selling a lot of product to
There it
new
is.
home builders. They were building a lot of new homes in Charlotte at that point.
So you got out of college. Let's back up here a minute.
Yeah.
You
yeah.
got out of college. You came
I
to
know.
Charlotte,
Figure that out.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
right out of college. You came to Charlotte.
I stayed in Columbia for about a half year after
Gotcha.
I graduated.
Getting your toes wet.
That's right. My sister lived in York, South Carolina.
Oh, okay.
And
Right down the street.
That's right. She said, "Why don't you come up here? There's some good opportunities in
There's
Charlotte.
this
Why don't you come up here?"
reason by-
And so moved
Yeah,
in
whatever.
with her for
Yeah,
a little
just go
while,
ahead and
get
do
my
that.
feet kind of solidified here.
You weren't married yet.
Weren't married, young guy.
Single guy, young guy.
Hey,
right out of
don't
college.
Do that.
That's
Don't
right.
sign it.
Cool.
And so,
I'm
Early
gonna talk
20s?
to Brad
Early
so I
20s.
can make
There
sure
you
that
go.
we sign
yeah,
in with
yeah,
easily.
and
So
got an opportunity with
I'm gonna go ahead and do
Sherwin-Williams.
that right now.
Was working a temporary job, and I was setting up a store. They were setting up a new store in the university area,
Cool.
and one of the young guys that was there said, "Hey, I'm in this management trainee program. you might be interested in this. And so checked it out. That was my pathway. I was an assistant store manager after completing my training, and it was a really good training program they had there at Sherwin-Williams. I knew more about paint than I ever thought I would know doing that, but a lot about customer service.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know they train well. We had an autistic gentleman come in here, and great guy, brilliant, as a lot of autistic people are, brilliant, very intelligent. He came on the show, and he now has a job at Sherwin-Williams and loves it.
Yeah, it's a great place. But the jump from Sherwin-Williams, really, that's what led me into this industry. So that's where I got into new construction. I had an opportunity to work with a fantastic, well, first of all, we were selling a lot of paint to builders, talking with builders. And one of the builders said, "Hey, Paul, you might be interested in this, and I'd been with the Sherwin-Williams for about 5 years, and I don't know, I think I was itching for something different. The idea of being
what, if Mike Little throw this one in there. Here you are in your mid-20s, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're growing.
Yeah.
You're learning, eyes wide open.
Oh yeah.
And here comes another opportunity in the door in your mid-20s.
Yeah.
And here you go. Keep talking.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, mid to late 20s, got an opportunity to work with the builder, kind of scratch the itch to, watch stuff come together, problem solve. It was exciting to me. There was a lot of new homes going up, so I worked for a wonderful company, John Whelan Homes and Neighborhoods, based out of Atlanta. Had an operation here in Charlotte, and had an opportunity to become what they called a finish manager. Basically, we would take the houses from drywall and manage the process, all the trim outs, countertops, cabinets, really making sure that everybody saw, felt, and touched.
That's a great education.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't get much better than that, really, because the hardest part of the jobs are the end.
Yeah. Yeah.
Details.
Right. And how well it's done in the beginning, or how well prepped out it is, makes a large difference on how quickly you will finish and how the quality will come out as well. Otherwise, you fight it a little bit. And there's rework, one of the two.
Oh yeah, redos 3 times the money you just put into something. And you say 3, not twice, because when you're doing something over, you should be doing something else in that place.
Oh.
So it's a triple whammy. Believe me, as a professional remodeler who's lost a bunch of money, it sucks. We're going to take a break here. You're listening to About Your House on Fox Sports Charlotte. I got Paul Kowalski in the studio today. Brooke, one of his employees, is due in within the next minute or two. We'll talk to her as well, find out her position on the playing field. Much, much more here on About Your House. Come on back.
Right.
So you've been in Charlotte since your early 20s. Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
So 98 I came.
8 years after we started there.
I had no clue what Nary was.
Well, and we're going to hear about that too, because that's the progression of things. It's a good story. The way, things happen. And it, kind of, I mean, it's no different with me. As I progressed, more opportunities came available. And if you're good at, and you show passion, desire, attitude, work ethic, all the good stuff, you stand out.
Well, there's a message there too, and I just thought about it when you said it. It's really, if you put yourself out there and you start doing.
Oh, did you put him in audition already?
It will find you.
When'd you do that?
It will find you.
After I
Okay.
the end of break.
It's an attitude.
No worries. All
It's
right.
energy.
So after that, you're
it
gonna
out
put
there,
in
it'll come
the
back to you.
so
And
it's
that's
my
it.
work email. So Stephen.Helbig at
You're gonna get
BBGI,
kicked down.
and the is Pac-Man91 exclamation point,
Why don't you get
capital
back
P.
up? Keep
That's
going.
the password. I just set it up in
That
here.
was a message the other night. I spoke to a room of 17 apprentices, all of them out of high school.
Unless it doesn't let us use it in here, which is fine. I've got my own personal.
Aren't you special?
So no, it's called I'm not waiting on Brad anymore. I just figured out everything without having to call him. Like,
I'm so proud of you.
well, no, I just like, because if I called him, it would have wasted his day and he'd be like, "What do you want?" And it's like, don't you get paid to do this?
Brad's such a dick.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Every
really
time I
is.
call him, he's such an asshole. It's acts like it's the biggest
I told him to
inconvenience.
call him last week because I said, "Hey, I can't
And I
fix that.
called
That's
him,
a
and he's
Brad
like,
question."
hello.
Yeah, and it's just like,
And it makes you seem like an idiot. It's like, well,
Yeah.
shit, if this thing worked, then I wouldn't be fucking calling you, would I, Brad? Fucking dude.
I think Brad's teaching you guys something, right? You know. I'm just
Well,
kidding.
that's
maybe he is.
You could call
He
it his
is.
teaching style.
he is actually. He's teaching me not to call him anymore to do it myself.
Well, see, if we, yeah. But see, that's why nothing, you came up almost in a time where technology kind of, you grabbed
It's all right, I like
kind
that
of run
little
with it.
That's my cue to hit
See, back in
audition.
1990 when we started there,
It's the first thing I thought of too. I was like, I'm giving
Yeah.
him time.
very
Like,
welcome.
trust me, I did it for
Technology.
cues.
Although,
For you.
That's
did
when
it
I
for
really
you.
got started.
I did it for you.
Technology, is when I got involved with Nary in various ways.
Anytime I do something on a commercial, I'm doing it as a cue for the board op. I'm not doing it for my health, man.
I thought you were
I'm
just
just
doing
surprised
it to be
nobody.
happy.
Sure.
I'm just surprised nobody's picked up on it yet. I'm like, I do it for a reason. Like, I'm like, I don't like just dead silence or like, oh, let's stop.
Well, I
Why not?
grab a hold of
This
that.
doesn't work.
I love
That name
LeBron
comes
James.
up every so
I-
often. I hear Walt. Double
Doesn't
Walt.
surprise me.
And Nary came, and one of the things, and I'll share this with you, and I don't mind. One thing that bothers me about Nary here in Charlotte now,
That's what
We're
it
not-
should be. Just
So what do you want me to do? On
we're not.
I'll show you. I just want you to set it up
Steve?
so we have it. Huh?
Would you do me a favor?
Yes.
Get us some water. You got water?
I do got water. I'm good.
You guys want any coffee? I can make a pot.
I got it.
Okay.
I got coffee, water. Cool. I brought all the hydration.
He's set. He's
we need-
ready to go.
to really become more educated, focused in the area around the industry. See, we did, not that I'm saying we did it, y'all not, none of that. But
Yeah.
we focused on that early. David Tyson was big into education. He was in the National Education Committee or something, one of the chairs or vice chairs, something. David was up there for like 7 years.
That's on the radar. The board's talking about that.
Need to get more into education because the programs they already have are phenomenal.
Right.
It's not like you got to reinvent anything or create something. It's all there. It's just a matter of marketing it, getting on,
Hey,
on
right.
that side.
30 seconds.
Go. All right, welcome back. Got Paul Kowalski in studio talking. Well, Paul Kowalski Builders, remodeler, builder, but primarily he likes to remodel. They like to remodel because see, you can't do all this stuff by yourself. Can't do it. Wish you could. You can go out and put up a TV or something, but you can't do
See if it
everything by
allows you
yourself.
in.
Can't do
Hopefully,
it.
I
Can you?
can access more than one.
Steven does.
It's very
Yes,
difficult.
Stephen
It'll
Dodge.
take you some time. Depends how much time you got, Ray, I guess, would
Right.
be the answer to that.
You can do it. I did it for
Just
years,
like the
but
login.
believe me, you can't do it in Charlotte because you get too busy.
Yeah.
It takes a village.
If you're doing something right.
No,
Right.
1991.
Right.
Sorry.
Back to your story.
Yeah.
Okay, you went into paint business, and one
Continue.
day a contractor walked into the store or something, or
Yeah, just a builder, or
Not
we
now.
would go out to the homes, deliver paint, or check in on
Because
the
I-
jobs, or
I really
Sure,
don't want that
troubleshoot a problem
activation
they're
code right
having
now.
with the product.
You know what we could do
And,
though? We can
So
put
you
my
get
own.
you get to know your clients.
You could put your
Some of
number
those
in
were
there,
new
and
home
then you can
construction
have,
builders.
You know, if
Yeah.
if you have.
Charlotte's
to,
got a lot of that.
But
and
right
see
now,
what
let's just
happened.
keep it how.
So he,
Because I can change
builder
it
had
at
asked
any
me,
time. Because it goes
hey,
to my
Paul, you
email.
might
So
be
if I had to
interested in
change
this.
your number,
And
I could change your number.
as a matter of fact, he worked
But
for
if I'm not
showrooms
here,
prior to.
Then you
I
have
got
an
you.
activation
Left
code.
out
If
and
it
said,
makes you
"Oh,
ask
I
for
know
an
you.
activation code, then
You may like this." And so he told me a
Maybe.
little bit more about the
we'll
position.
look more into it. But for right now,
I was
it looks like
interested.
you're in.
I was real interested and took the leap.
So, all
Cool.
right,
the
we'll
next
work
leap.
on
That's
the
awesome.
Next
promo
opportunity.
afterwards.
So then, what
and
did
we'll
you do
make
there?
sure everything is
So
correct.
again,
'Cause
started
once
off
we
as
do it
a
once,
as a finish
then we'll
manager.
be good. moving forward.
Which
We just have to
basically taking
find
the
where it needs
homes
to go.
once the
I don't
drywall
know-
was
I don't know
installed,
if on this
taking
computer
it
if it
from
has everything the
drywall
same.
all the way to handing over the key, so to speak, right? Walking
Through the
home.
punch list.
That's right, through the punch list. There you go. Hopefully a small one.
Sorry about that.
Yep, hopefully.
I'll work
Punch
on that
list
next
time.
hour. I'm gonna
That's
go.
right.
How many times have
I'll
I
go
played
on
that?
the
That's right.
music.
But so
library
you
and
got
see
in the
if I can
building. How
find
long were you
something
there?
else.
I was there for about 7 years, a little over
Awesome.
I'm
7
gonna
years.
find
Great
a new
education.
jingle. I think it's
Super
time to
education.
do a new.
I know.
Supported.
That's college right there, buddy.
Well,
Yeah, it
we
was a
don't use
graduate
that
school.
anymore for the
Yeah.
show open. Like, it's
Exactly.
Is what
it's
it was.
not a
I had
part of the
business
show.
background, and
Sure.
this was real life, making it happen.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's on you.
You were taught customer service in the paint industry and then moved right into new home building and turning keys over to new homeowners and that relationship and that personality. And wow.
Yeah, yeah,
What an education.
really cool. And
You're very fortunate.
I'd say so. Yeah, I feel that way.
Yeah.
I feel that way. I was able to, I did a bunch of things within the building company, finish manager, then started building from the ground up, putting the foundations in, learning about grade and, setting up a foundation the right way.
And when you had to finish,
Yeah.
I'm reflecting here.
Okay.
You saw some things that resulted from the beginning portion, a lot of it. And you knew once you got away from that, what to look for into the foundational aspects. Because a house or anything else starts, or a life, your life, we all start at the foundation. If your foundation is not correct and well placed and thought out,
How do you want
nothing
me to
else
do
will
the
be.
library? Where
And
do you
that's
want
the
me?
reality of life. Life is like building. If your foundation's bad,
Do you want me at the
your
beginning,
life will
end,
probably be bad.
middle,
And the most important
whatever you want? You just tell me
foundational
when
years
you're
of any child's life is the
Okay.
first two. I've lived life. I've
So,
watched it. I've lived in
The
a lot of
Q, I
families.
mean, you'll see me
and it's a
step away
fact.
from the mic. But the Q is
If
going to
a
be
child has a troubled first 2 years,
CLTCD.com.
life will be more than likely troubled in some way as a result.
Wow.
Fact. But anyway, building, foundation. Right? Foundation's not, but you saw a lot of that, I bet, didn't you?
Yeah. It was an interesting way to go about it. Maybe it was by design. by the
Yeah, it
builder.
sounds pretty darn good to me.
Yeah. Yeah. So we saw it. Finished
Yeah.
work. I worked warranty for a while too. Just pure warranty. You want to talk about
I know what you're talking
prepping
about.
you out to be a good builder.
Yeah. Right.
Window flashing, door flashing,
Oh, yeah.
details for
Weather, water invasion.
water. Yes. Yes.
You
Water.
learn real quick what's the most important thing you're going to deal with. Water.
That's true.
After this week, if you ain't figured it out yet, last week was a lesson.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and your house will talk to you with water. I don't mean to go
Sure
off on
will.
a tangent here, but you look up if stuff's, if you've got lines at the base of the foundation, look up at your gutters. I bet you they're pouring over.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
And talking about putting in foundations and making sure the grade's set up. If you look at your house or you pull up to your driveway and you see that the grade is sloping toward the house.
Issues. Immediately.
Exactly. Where's that water
Issues.
going?
Yeah.
And even if it's not on the surface, the hydrostatic pressure.
Sure.
Water runs, well, I think since the beginning of time.
Every
downhill.
time. Without fail. And you'll never beat Mother Nature. Nope. It'll beat you every time if you don't take care of it. But you can do that. Most important lesson anybody in construction needs to learn is taking care of Mother Nature.
That's right. Especially water.
Yeah. When I go do consulting work around houses, I'll walk around the whole house and look at the grades. Then I'll say, your problem's right here. I'll bet if I go into your house, I will go to this area of the house and I will see evidence of this low area right here in many ways. I'll never forget one down in Matthews. I said, well, here's your problem. Water's getting on the sidewalk, running under your crawl, and I'll bet there's a river flowing right to the center of your crawl from one corner of your house to the other. And I'm going to go into the house, and I'm going to see. Sure enough, it's exactly, but there again, like you said, it'll talk to you.
Yeah.
All you got to do is pay attention.
Yeah.
And last week, it was talking to you loud. I hope you listened.
It's so true.
Yeah.
So true. But yeah.
So you did new home building.
Yeah. So, and put in foundations, did warranty,
That's a great education, Paul.
Yeah, it was.
I went basically the same way.
Okay.
Same thing, just a little different in timing wise, but I did all of what you just said. And what an education. How fortunate, because you get to really see problems are the education in construction. Because if you don't fail, well, problems in construction are failing issues. It wasn't done correctly. So therefore you got aftermath. You got damage repair.
Control, sure, yeah.
Damage, just like men, when you get them upset, they react. And normally when they react, there's damage control. Same thing with construction.
That's a lot of life lessons going on today.
Yeah. Gotta learn, baby. Gotta learn.
That's right. That's right.
But so you learned a great way. Okay.
Yeah.
So you played that. How'd you jump the fence into the other pasture there?
So maybe I'll put me maybe not near a fence. I was probably on the edge of a pool, and I got nudged in 2008, 2009. Right. So
what a time! Because you just set the stage. 2008, a big housing crash, and it shifted things up, and you had to back up and punt.
That's right. That's right. So I thought I was going to be a builder forever, right? Just going to.
But the economy changed it, didn't it?
Oh, yes, it did.
Yep.
Yeah, and we saw it coming, right?
Sure.
And
to some degree.
To some degree, at least from my seat, I saw the change happening.
Right.
I saw some good folks get let go, and at some point, I was worried. Well, if we don't sell any more homes, it might be my turn here soon. It's just math,
writing's on the wall.
That's right. So
I've lived through 5.
Okay.
5 recessions, but carry on because you're part of the story.
Yeah. No, so 2008, 2009 comes along. I see the writing on the wall. I started a little LLC in the background, just a shell, and said, well, if this happens, at least I got a fallback.
The entrepreneurship kicked in.
Yeah. And it was the 2008, 2009 why I said, near a pool. That's what nudged me into the pool.
I hear you.
And then I had a choice to start swimming, and I did. And so remodeling, I saw an opportunity there. Folks, have expanding needs or still had expanding needs for their homes or their families and how they were going to live. And at the time, they were either underwater on their home or couldn't sell it for what they wanted to. I had a team of subcontractors and folks that I knew that were hungry for work because they weren't getting it from the news.
That was a crash coming back out of it.
Correct. And I could be part of the solution, right? And so that's what I saw. I saw a need for folks, and they could invest in their home during this recession, right? Because they couldn't just go buy another one, another one. And
still can't.
And it was a unique interest rate situation now.
Right.
We can talk about that too. But back then I see an opportunity here. I got great folks, high quality tradespeople, craftsmen, ready to do stuff. And I've got homeowners with expanding needs. They can invest in their home. When this thing recovers, they'll enjoy it for however long.
Sure.
And then you made an investment in your home and in your family at the same time, right? And
oh, no doubt about it. It was a great time to sit still, if you get and create, change, meld. And COVID, the pandemic, did the same thing, essentially, just in a different way.
There's a different type of reset, yeah.
But it was a reset.
It gave a boost to remodeling.
Oh, to every Charlotte.
Well, you put everybody in their home for days on end, and then how about it?
It changed the whole environment of living in Charlotte. Well, everywhere, actually, not just Charlotte, everywhere. And the whole paradigm, there was a tremendous paradigm shift. And it's still here in a lot of those ways, But anyway, so you jumped in it after 2008, 2009, got to remodeling.
That's right. I saw an opportunity and then began to build the business, right? And then that education that I probably had 10 years before that had an opportunity to come through, right? Run a business. Exciting.
That's exciting. And then so you're off and running and what'd you name it? Paul Kowalski Builders?
It started off, this is try not to go too long on this, but it started off, you know, I created an LLC. I came up with the name Fine Line Construction of the Carolinas.
Right.
So that's going to be that was cool.
Ego cut in. How old were you then? 30?
Had to be in my mid-30s.
Mid-30s.
Yeah.
Ego time. And I say that because really around 40 years old, you was killing it then. Your head was big as Texas.
Maybe so.
Well, and that's okay. That's a good thing because that's normal. At least it should be.
Yeah.
You know, and there you go. Fine Line of the Carolina. I love it.
Yeah.
But didn't stick. Keep talking.
Yeah. So that it didn't stick, and there's a reason why. So when you go to start your business, any future entrepreneurs out there, make sure you do your research. You check with the Secretary of State. You understand names that might be similar to your business, right? Because I didn't, talking about learning from mistakes.
Yeah, copyright infringement and various other things.
And there was another company,
yep,
called Fine Line Construction, not of the Carolinas, so it was okay with the Secretary of State. Started down that business, and I was building my book of business, right? Building my clients, working in some neighborhoods, and used my name. They passed on the name Fine Line Construction of the Carolinas. Well, they reached out, and I had a client call me and say, "Hey, Paul, your salesman was here." And at the time, I didn't have a salesman on my. I know what you're going to say here. Go ahead. And he said, this and that, and I said, well, I don't have who was there. It wasn't me.
Right.
And this other fella, and then I found out, oh my goodness,
there's another name. There's another company out there.
And my good work is benefiting him. And well, hey, maybe I picked up some of his stuff too. Who knows, right?
Who knows? Yeah.
But at that point, I knew if I was going to grow this thing. And so first thing my brain went to was, well, I know a name that probably nobody else is going to choose. Paul Kowalski Builders.
Right.
Let's make it what it is. What is this? Right.
You should own it.
I own it. It's me, my heart, my soul,
right.
My sweat, my tears, my blood is in this thing. Let's call it what it is. Paul Kowalski Builders. And I'll never have to worry about anybody copying that. I don't believe.
Nope. I think you said. Okay, let's back up here. You picked up a wife somewhere along the way.
That is true.
When did that happen?
Oh gosh.
Sorry, we're gonna get into history. I need to know the whole picture.
Oh boy, yeah, around 05, 06.
Oh, so she was grunting with you in 2008.
Oh yeah. Oh, 2008, our son was born.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so talk about that. Like, hey, you don't have your builder job anymore. What are you going to do? This is a good story, Ray. I'm glad you brought this up, and hopefully
family's what it's about, brother.
That's right.
That really has an impact. And we went through this story about your career, but where's the wife come in at?
That's right. So we met through mutual friends here in Charlotte, started dating, and
sure,
one thing led to another. We said we're right for each other. We love each other. Let's get married, and we did. But real interesting in 2008 when that happened. It was she was working at the time at a local paper doing sales, and for me it was dual income. Just had the baby, Andrew, my son, in 2008, and then this news comes along that hey, you're no longer going to be employed. We're not selling enough homes, and that was scary. And I'll shorten this up just a little bit, but Kathy asked, hey, what you're going to do this remodeling? How is this going to pay the bills? And it's a real question. And so it forced me into a situation where, is this really going to work, Paul? Are you just, I'm scared. And I was too, a little bit, being honest. Right?
Fear, yeah. Oh, I've talked to many young men and women about business. I've talked to a lot of them into it, and every one of them were scared. So it's very common. And here you got a baby, newlywed, really, too.
Yeah. Just
getting cranking here, and pow! Somebody hits you in the gut with you ain't working no more. But see, you became resourceful. You became more mature. more responsible. And look at you.
Yeah.
It all worked out. And you had the support of your wife.
So I'll talk a little bit about that. There was, doubt within me. She obviously had some doubt, and I'll tell you what,
It was scary.
it was scary, but it was a great motivator, and it caused me to do something that set me up, and it's probably why I'm sitting here talking to you today and have done the things that I've done. I knew I had to, well, maybe not sell her on it, but convince, and part of the exercise was convincing myself.
Exactly. That was a big growth period.
Right.
Yeah.
So I had to put a business plan together. I went to SCORE, which is part of the SBA, and these are mostly retired professionals that donate their time to to entrepreneurs
and what have you. Yes.
So went to see the folks at SCORE and talked to them about, hey, I want to start this business. I want to do this the right way, and they mentored me through. They gave me a template for a business plan. They talked to me about the market. They said, does this, and it really forced me to think critically about what is it, how am I going to do this? How am I going to make this successful? What is the market for this, right? And how are you going to service this? And that opportunity was really important. And anyhow,
I'm sorry, I don't mean to distract you.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. But once I got to do that exercise was we talked about foundations, was the foundation for my success. And I presented that business plan to my one board of directors, Kathy, my wife, and be able to share with her
your vision.
Honey, here's how we're going to do it. Here's how we're going to make this happen. And she said, Paul, this makes sense. This looks right. I support you. Go get it.
Get her done.
That's right. And
that's awesome.
Yeah. But it does take a family, and it's scary. But you got to say, but that fear was the motivator.
It can be, and and to defeat the fear, because the fear will get in your way if you let it.
Yeah.
And you didn't, and you surpassed it and went beyond that, and that's awesome. Okay, so now you're remodeling.
Yeah.
And that was when again? 2008. 2009.
Yeah, right in there.
Right in the transition. Let's just call it 2008.
Sure.
So you're remodeling.
Yeah.
And so you're off and running, and apparently you did pretty well with that. Once you got Paul Kowalski Builders under your hat, it was just all right. You started growing. You was just you. Then you start. When did you get involved with NARI?
So I got involved with NARI about 5 years ago. So a little bit later after I was doing this, NARI, great organization. I sit on the board now, helped out, but
you're a past president too, aren't you?
No,
not
a past.
I didn't know. If you were.
I'm working my way there. I'm a treasurer now.
Oh, okay.
So
I didn't know.
Secretary, treasurer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand how it goes.
Yeah. So working my way there.
I was involved. That was my life for 18 years. So NARI, and I'm gonna bring this into fold too.
Yeah.
At 5 years, you've won some Cody Awards. Now they're called Roadies, Remodeler of the Year Award.
Right.
And you've won several awards with that, haven't you?
Yeah, sure have. Yeah.
So,
yeah, several.
All right, we got to take a break. We're going to talk more about we're going to talk about remodeling, what remodeling is, and I think you got Brooke.
Brooke, yeah.
Is she coming in? She hasn't called you yet?
I think she probably texted, but I'm busy talking. So
she did. She did text me. She is
okay. We'll go get her downstairs, bring her into the studio, and
awesome.
get with it.
All right.
All right. You're listening to About Your House on Fox Sports Charlotte. Download the free app. Stream us live. There is no more radio. YouTube live. Facebook live. How y'all doing? Right now on About Your House Radio's page. Tune in, turn on, and come on back. We'll talk more to Paul Kowalski and Brooke, what it's all about in the professional remodeling world.
All right.
He's got to do a live spot.
When that ends, you just read it. I'm just going to
I
put
want
it in
to
the
hear
manual.
it.
You know it.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I'm missing it.
I'm gonna have to fix YouTube, so I know what the issue is. I just can't fix it right now while we're on the air.
What's the issue?
it's the way that it's set up. Because the way he said it, it sounded like it first sounded when you did Facebook last week when I told you, hey, we got to fix the sound on Facebook. It's the same problem on YouTube. I just have to see what it is. Like, cause I've never went into the settings and fixed YouTube. It just kind of set up the way it was. So I got to figure that out. Whenever you're ready, dude.
Want to find out more about the show? Go to our Facebook page, About Your House Radio. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsor.
You know, Ray always talks about health as wealth. And you know, one of our sponsors that really helps us with health as wealth is Crowntown Cannabis. They're one of the best stores here in the Charlotte area that sells any kind of cannabis needs, CBD needs, any of those that you could do. And it's not just for you guys. It's for your dogs. It's for your pets. They have all sorts of products. And they have a new store at 115 East Park Avenue, actually right here near the radio station where I'm speaking to you today. And, you know, I go in there actually. John and his staff are always wonderful every time I go in there. And, you know, they say you can leave your wallet in the car because they'll help you out. Like, they will give you samples and they will get you on the right stuff you need. They're not just trying to sell you things, folks. They really want to help you and they want to get you on the right stuff. So that's Crowntown Cannabis. And they have a lot of other stores as well. Go check them out at 2419 Central Avenue. And again, you can go check out that other store at 115 East Park Avenue. And also they got one in Concord at 119 Country Club Drive. And they have a new one in Grover, North Carolina, 114 North Main Street. Again, that's Crowntown Cannabis. They're always really helpful. Like I said, Mike always tells me, one of the owners of Crowntown Cannabis, leave your wallet in the car. They are willing to help you guys. They'll give you samples. They really want to help you with all the products they can. Again, that's Crowntown Cannabis. For any other updates, go to cltcbd.com.
Works for me.
I rambled a little bit, but I got there.
That's what we call learning. So you only get better if you do it. I mean, that's right.
That's true, right?
I mean, you only get better the more times you do things.
I just,
I'm glad you came. Yeah.
I got to stop repeating myself. Like, you notice
Right,
when I
that's
get
your
lost,
right.
I just repeat myself over and over.
That's why I do the script, because it's just,
right
if I
there.
do it off the cuff, I'm gonna ramble.
Well, no, I mean, by the second one, I'll be different because I'm going to talk about John, because I want to talk about that staff
That's
and then
good
talk
right
about
there.
the other
You're-
staff.
you're in front. That's right.
So,
And of course you have to wear these guys.
You don't really need to wear them or have to wear them, but what you hear me better because see everything on the headset's what you hear on the radio. Typically, if somebody calls in, you couldn't hear the caller if you didn't have your headset on. But we probably won't get. People don't talk anymore. Believe it or not, they don't. Back in the day, we could load the lines up. Anymore, people don't want to talk. They'll text, they'll send you a message or something, but they don't talk. It's weird.
so I will fix that sound. It's going to take a minute. That's probably why they said they couldn't hear the commercials last week, because it was all set up differently.
Pete, I think Pete Sheppel
Mm-hmm.
listened to a repeat of
Okay.
Bones
Oh,
and
okay.
Fred with F3,
Uh-huh.
and he said the commercials weren't there.
Okay. Well,
They
look.
probably take them out. YouTube does.
No, well,
And my boyfriend's parents.
I don't think they would, but I don't know. I'd have to go look myself.
That's so cool, man. Okay, yeah.
Now,
So go to
94.7
the live
doesn't
stream.
exist anymore.
Oh.
1660 AM doesn't exist anymore. You want to know where to hear this? Fox Sports Charlotte. Download the free app. Stream us live on your browser. FoxSportsRadioCharlotte.com.
Or I
Or-
told him 94.7.
Or no, 94.7.
No.
You want to? Have they got Siri in the house? You know what Siri is?
They may, yes.
If they got Siri, all you gotta do is say Siri, put on Fox Sports Charlotte,
Okay.
and that's
Customization.
it. Or they go to Facebook Live,
Mhm.
About Your House Radio,
Okay.
where your There's
You
you
probably
are
have to
on
stop
camera.
the stream
You'll be on
and go
camera.
live again.
No, I know what I
Facebook
gotta do,
Live
but we'll
right
get him live
That's
first,
really
and then we'll go
probably
into
the
it.
best way they can get you real quick is go to Facebook on About Your House
I gotta go
Radio
mess with
page,
some stuff.
and there you are.
Jesus.
I just hate
Or you
messing
can go
with
to
stuff
YouTube
while we're
Live and be
That's
there
the
too on
only
About
thing
Your
I
House
hate.
Radio page.
Fucked everything
You're on 4 different
No, it
platforms.
hasn't.
Well, actually,
So
there's more, but
you agree with me, damn it.
No, I don't.
All right, what are we doing?
I'm ready when you are.
I'm ready. Let's do this. Hey, welcome back. You're listening to About Your House
So-
on Fox Sports Charlotte. I got Paul Kowalski in the house. Paul Kowalski Builders,
Go to settings.
remodeling
Go to the little
contractor,
window.
builder, general contractor.
Go to the window. The
He
blue.
probably build it if you want it.
Right there.
So there you go.
And
And we have
find
one of his employees, I do believe.
settings. Yeah.
Introduce her, Paul.
Yes.
Say that for me again.
Possible horn.
System.
Where is that from?
It is German.
I knew you'd know.
Yeah.
Hospital horn.
Yep.
Cool. Keep talking. I'm sorry. I like names. That's fine.
Yeah, so Brooke's
Yes.
working with us, helping out with design, interior design, and selection
All
of materials. We call that position the project outfitter.
Okay.
All right.
Now go
Where'd
back
you find
to
her?
YouTube real quick.
We found her
No, no,
through
don't exit
Indeed,
out.
I believe. Yeah.
Okay, cancel.
Well, see, I'm asking because Brooke is only
And I'll go-
22 years
I'll
old.
go check it and see.
Right.
I'm 21.
Oh, 20.
No, even better
I'm
yet.
sorry, Brooke.
21.
I made you. You're in your 22nd year now.
That's right, Paul. You
Yeah.
didn't know, but no, you're 21. Okay. So you're 21 years old.
Mhm.
Where are you from?
I'm originally from Iowa.
Iowa. They
Mhm.
grow a lot of corn in Iowa.
Yes, they
I
do.
drove in Iowa one time.
Yeah.
Corn. But anyway, uh, I'm thinking. Anyway, you're from Iowa. How'd you get Charlotte?
My mom's job. She works in healthcare, and we were recruited out here about 10 years ago.
Okay, so you kind of grew up your latter years in Charlotte.
Yep, I
Where'd
spent
you go to
middle
high
school and
school?
high school here. Parkwood High School in Union County.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
We were at Parkwood Trades Career Day last year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
As a matter of fact, I went to an event at Parkwood about 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you went to Parkwood.
I did.
Okay. Then what? What'd you do after high school?
I went to Central Piedmont Community College
For what?
for interior design.
So you knew what you
Still
wanted to do
sounds
in high
crappy,
school.
but-
I
even.
did.
I
Yes.
think
Did
that was the
did
issue.
Parkwood have anything in that respect to kind of guide
But
you
that's
in
the
that
issue.
pathway?
Yes, they
'Cause
did
it's
actually
coming
have
from-
interior design
coming
elective
from there.
classes.
And you
So,
took.
I took both. Yes, they had interior
Yeah,
design
we
1 and
did. We
interior
just
design
probably
2.
need to end this
Now,
and start.
I gotta ask you. See, I love it.
That's what happens when you
21-year-old girl.
change something.
You're just getting her feet to the ground good.
Yeah, go ahead.
Ready to
man.
get. We talked
I
about
mean, I'm
this
not
with you,
worried
Paul.
about it today.
Now we go back to her at
I
21.
want to get it.
All
I
right.
want to get it done.